Hello everyone, and welcome to the annual What Am I Doing With My Life video, in which I talk about my goals from last year and make some new ones for this year. If you haven't seen either of my previous goal videos, don't worry, I'll be going over how it works as we go. And yes, I do have a process for this because I have a process for everything. But before we get to the goals, we gotta talk about my theme for the year. Arguably the most important thing that I plan for every year, even more so than my actual goals, is the theme. Yearly themes are kind of hard to explain, but the synopsis is this. The theme of your year is basically the direction you want to move in, or the state of mind you wish to have. It's not really about any specific achievement, but rather how you wish to approach things as a whole. For example, last year's theme was exploration, because I wanted to explore different things. Different videos, different activities, even a different me. My life has felt small for such a long time, and I wanted to push back against that by stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something that's just new. So hence, a year of exploration. And I think I did a pretty good job with that. Last year I got a partner, made several new friends, learned how to play Pathfinder, and figured out how to use a program for creating visual novels. It's a long story and will probably become a video at some point, but needless to say, I have plans. But that's last year's theme. Let's talk this year's theme, which is, drumroll please, practice! Yup, for me, 2024 is going to be a year of practice. I have so many things that I've committed to specifically because I want to improve my skills, and I'm going to go through with them. We'll get into exactly what those things I've committed to are when I get to the goals for this year, but suffice to say there are a lot of things I want to get better at, and the best way to do that is with practice. Now that we've gotten the theme out of the way, let's talk actual goals, specifically those for last year, 2023. First up are the primary goals, which are the most important ones. These are things that I want to focus on or that really need to be done, and because I have no sense of normal priorities, they are always personal projects that are entirely optional. One of the most important primary goals is the one involving this channel, and in fact this channel wouldn't exist without one. Way back in 2021, I set the goal to post my first ever YouTube video, and I did. Then I set the goal of posting a video every month the following year, and I did that as well. But last year I was slightly more ambitious. I set the goal to post at least one video a month, with the intention to do more if I could. And although I didn't exactly do that, I also kind of did, because I didn't upload a video every month. I missed both May and December, but I posted a total of 13 videos over the last year. So I did do more, just not as consistently, which isn't the same thing of at least one a month, but I'm going to count it as sufficient and say, goal achieved. The other primary goal that I had last year was to finish preparations for my webcomic Lyria. And again, I didn't complete the goal, but also kind of did. The plan was to finish all the buffer episodes and have everything ready to go on January 1st, 2024. That did not happen. However, I do have 10 fully inked pages done as of the writing of the script, as well as sketches and thumbnails for the next couple months worth of pages. So posting for Lyria will start this year. It's just going to be delayed for a month or two while I refine my process and figure out how to make this in any way sustainable. Was it a good idea to start a weekly webcomic while running a YouTube channel and managing my health problems? Probably not. Am I going to do it anyway? Hell yeah, I am. Now on to the secondary goals. These are things that are less important than the primary goals, but still things I'd like to do if I have the time and energy to spare. Which doesn't usually happen, but hey, an NB can dream, alright? For 2023, I had 3 secondary goals. The first was to try live streaming. This is something I keep intending to do, but because I've been so busy, I always put it off. I know to some people live streaming might sound like an easy thing to do, like just hit the go live button, you have all the software and hardware ready to go. And yeah, technically that's true, but live streaming well requires a little bit more effort than that. And I'm not a person who half-asses things. If I'm gonna live stream, I want to make it the best goddamn live stream I can do. And that takes some time and energy. Time and energy I don't have a lot of. The second was to open up for art commissions. This did not happen, obviously. I would have made a video about it if I had, and this was pretty much for the same reason as for live streams. And again, opening up for art commissions is harder than you might think if you're trying to, do it right. Prices, examples, options, slots, what platform to use, a fucking contract. That shit takes time and consideration. Thankfully, I have been slowly working on those things in the background, so I am getting closer to opening for commissions. But closer is not the same thing as ready. And the third and final one was to do some 3D modeling. Again, no videos, so no go. Wish I could say I got closer to this goal, but honestly I haven't touched a modeling program all year and no tutorials have been watched. The closest thing was watching a handful of speed modeling videos, but I don't think that really counts. And that brings us finally to ideal goals. Last year I had 3 ideal goals and none of them have been completed. Not much to say, but I'll go over them again for people who haven't seen my previous goals video. My first ideal goal was to get a job. Sadly, my mental health said no, and I can't really argue with that. My second ideal goal was to get disability money, but the disability appeal process in the US is absolutely horrible, and they almost always reject you on the first try. Which they did, so now I have to start over and do it again. Fun! My third and final goal was to learn how to drive. I have not gotten behind the wheel of a vehicle the entire year, so needless to say, that didn't go anywhere. Wow, that got kind of sad and depressing. Let's make things more positive and optimistic and talk about my new goals for this year. I have 3 whole primary goals for 2024, continuing the trend of getting more ambitious with each passing year. Let's start with the YouTube goal for this year, which is to post more than 12 videos, and to at least try to post at least one a month. But honestly, the number feels more important at this point. I like to give videos the time and effort they need, and sometimes that takes more than a month. Especially when I'm working on like 3 videos simultaneously, because I physically cannot commit to only doing one thing at a time. Next up, we have the Lyria goal, which is to upload at least 10 months worth of episodes. Like I said when talking about my goal for Lyria last year, I am mostly prepared, but still need another month or 2 before I feel ready to begin posting pages. Remember kids, buffer pages are important. And that brings us to the new primary goal for this year, which is to finally get a job. I have put off this goal for far too long, frankly, and honestly I want to be in a position where I can support others monetarily. My family isn't doing great income-wise, and I feel like a leech to my partner who insists on spoiling me at every possible opportunity. So yes, I would like the monies, please. Unfortunately, getting a job in this capitalist hellscape in which we live is awful, especially when you already have the full-time job of managing your mental and physical health issues. Next up, we got my secondary goals, which are all repeats of last year's. We've got 3D modeling, live streaming, and commissions. However, as I talked about with those goals from last year, I am closer to completing them than I was, specifically with the commissions and a little bit for the live streaming. And although I have nothing for 3D modeling, I have experience with it due to several classes in college on the subject, so I'm fairly confident that I can jump into it headfirst without too much issue. Finally, that brings us to my ideal goals for 2024. Currently, I only have 2 goals on this list, and both are repeats from last year: getting disability money and learning how to drive. Not really much to say about these outside of the fact that they are still things I'd like to get done if the stars align and I get the blessing of the gods. So yeah. And those are my goals and theme for this year. Hopefully making this video will help me actually complete some of them. At the very least, the friends and family who follow my channel will hold me accountable for what I've said. Hello friends and family, if you're watching this video, hopefully this has given you an idea of what I'll be doing this year. For everyone else, it'll give you a hint about some videos you might see from me over the next 11 months. But what are some goals you guys have set for this year? Or if you're someone who doesn't do well with goals, what would be your theme for this year if you had to pick one? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like and subscribe for more like it in the future. Okay, that's a lie. My content is only half speed paints and the other half is complete chaos. You never know what you're gonna get. If somehow that doesn't scare you away, you can click the bell icon and select all from the drop-down list to be notified whenever I upload something new. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!